Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Frank. Frank is from Berlin in Germany. So let's see what Frank has to say. Enjoy the interview. Right. So, hello, Frank. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this Sunday for the interview. Thank you.
Sure. It sounded like an interesting thing to do, so I'm up for all kinds of stuff.
Amazing. So, tell me, how's your morning going so far?
It's great. It's a weekend. It's a beautiful summer in Berlin right now, which you never know whether they're going to happen or not. But this is like August. We have like a super summer,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of nice. And I also I have a little garden outside of Berlin, so everyone's going to the lake because it's so hot. It's actually like above like 30 degrees. I don't know how much that is. You have degrees in England
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Not fair. So yeah, everyone's going to the lake, and I have a little lake house too. So that's where I'm at right now.
Oh my God, you are so lucky to have a lake house.
It's a little bungalow. It's not a house, but it's a beautiful place to stay and hang out and enjoy. It's like super close to the lake. It's just like a couple of steps away, so it's really nice.
Amazing. And Berlin is the place where you're born and raised?
Yes, that is true, and
So
loving it
tell me,
there.
so tell me how was growing up in Berlin? Tell me the experience from your childhood memories.
Well, I mean, like I grew up kind of like outskirts of the city area, city territory, and I grew up in the east. So like it was way different than what Berlin is now, like how it presents itself to most of the people that visited. Because having grown up in East Germany, that was a just different like political system. Obviously, it was socialism. Although like being in a child, not noticeable to a child so much. So I had a nice childhood anyway, like not in the city area. Like I said, my parents have a house, like kind of like outskirts with a beautiful garden. So I grew up in a kind of village setting, let's say, before, becoming a teen, eventually moving out of my parents and then moving into the city and of course exploring a whole new world there. So yeah, it's good.
Amazing. Amazing. I think, the interesting thing about Berlin is I've had so many guests on the show around the world, and Berlin sometimes comes across in the conversation. People they think about Germany, about Berlin as a great place to visit. Tourists, people that are open-minded there. You can be yourself. Actually, I think yesterday I had a lovely interview with a great man from New York City, and he said that he's been in Berlin, and he said, William, I felt I literally could be myself, literally, that I never felt before. So I think Berlin, it's always been, well known for people to explore their sexuality, to be free, to express themselves, the truly self they are. I think Berlin is well known for that.
Absolutely. I mean, like I think it's like an island, like New York is in America, I guess. It's like an island within Germany, not only, but also in Europe, because like compared to other like metropolitan cities, even like in Europe, I think one of the places, a rare place actually, where everything, you can be what you want to be, just as you described. There's like we have like a very vivid, vibrant gay LGBT scene, queer scene. So like there's a place for everyone, there's parties for everyone. It can be pretty wild. That's why people used to come to Berlin, obviously, because like it was cheap partying and all kinds of kinks.
Mhm.
So it's just a nice, you're allowed to be what you want to be, and people don't care. There's a like a relaxed attitude about it. People won't bother you if you express yourself, and that's a really nice vibe to be in if you see yourself in a crowd, like going to a party, because that allows everyone to be whatever they define themselves as to be. So that just like creates a really relaxed vibe, combined
Mhm.
with artists coming into the city, sometimes super good music depending on the club you go to. That's also like kind of a
Yeah.
difference. When you go to European clubs, the music is like the Euro pop kind of direction, even when it comes to like techno and house.
Yeah.
So you get, depending on the club, you get really good music as well, and that combined with I don't know, sex positive, be who you want to be crowd is just super nice to hang out at.
Amazing. Yeah. Right. So, Frank, tell me, what do you do for work, for living?
I do communications, like PR, public relations, in a internet company, hosting company. So yeah, like everything you need to go online basically, and I do the communications for that. And have been working in that field for quite some time. Um, Previously for like political lobbying association, I also worked in the social sector, the company beforehand. So I did different branches, but communication as a whole.
So walk me through a little bit, like on a working day, like in a busy working day. Walk me through a little bit about your day when you're working.
At work, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like basically, PR can be different things. If you work for an art agency, you work for a customer, you work for a client, you try to pitch stories to journalists and get a story published or get an article in the news media, which is what your clients pay you to do. If you work in a lobbying situation, it's a different thing where like journalists come ask you questions and they want some kind of positioning from you. So it's a lot of like information meddling. And then putting out a statement that makes everyone happy and obviously lets your company look good, or even set an agenda and start a public discussion with whatever you put out. And if that's a company that I'm working at right now, it's more like basically like social media communications and how-to articles to create stories around that. Working with two PR agencies, also like combining, trying to navigate them like through what they do for us, basically. So it's a lot of like project work, and there's also other specific topics on my table, which is like sustainability and moving that forward. That's an important topic of current times, let's say. Everything that revolves around communications and that brings like a everyday working atmosphere that is quite flexible and I don't know, like vivid. I don't know how to put it. It never gets bored.
So sure. Frank, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
Well, I mean, the most obvious thing is that I'm like a gay man who has a child also. So I'm in a co-parenting situation. I'm a rainbow daddy, is what it's kind of like, is what is called here. I don't know whether that's an international term, but like I'm an LGBT father in a setting with that, and I'm also part of a group of like gay fathers in Berlin. So like we're a network of rainbow daddies, which might be like interesting for one or the other person. I don't know.
Totally, absolutely. My goodness. So tell me, you are parenting a child, but it's your own child or it's adopted. So walk me through a little bit about the journey.
Yeah, it's my own son, basically. And through some circumstances, I got the opportunity to dive into this kind of like endeavor. And I took the opportunity, and it's quite fulfilling. I mean, like for someone who always wanted that, like, I have to say too, I'm aware of the fact that like, most of the queer gay men actually like don't see that as a path for themselves, which is absolutely fine. I always wanted that, so when this opportunity came around, I took the opportunity, and I'm very happy that I did, because like it gives me what I imagined it to be.
Amazing, my goodness, amazing. Thanks so much for sharing. I'm so happy about that. Frank, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life, about your, your point of views overall in life, okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah, I'm curious about what's going to come up.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got him a best friend. Full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now, just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, Frank from Berlin. So before you start the journey, during the show, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
All right.
First question for you is, what makes you very sentimental?
Humanity, like when people are good to each other in a very decent, human, kind way, and approach each other like that, that touches me always very much.
Are you a kind of person that can cry easily or not?
I would say, like, depending on the the moment, I can. I mean, like, I'm not afraid of tears, let's say.
Hmm.
I can cry when I'm in that situation. I don't cry too often, I have to say, because like as you go through life, you go through different experiences, and not everyone has a sad one, obviously. but but yeah, like crying is not a problem for me.
When was the last time that you cried genuinely?
Um, about like 2 months ago, 1.5 maybe.
Can you share why?
No.
Okay.
To give you like a positive example, I'm really like a huge fan of Queer Eye, the
Okay.
TV. And I think like it's distributed and prepared in such a nice and gentle and encouraging way, and like making a connection to the people that they care for, that they consult, uplift, basically, or try to uplift. And it's
Yeah.
done with such good intention. Also, like it's what I've talked about earlier, like in such a human benevolence way that makes me cry a lot. For example.
Okay. All right. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Next question is, tell me what's the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for you?
So someone has ever done or has given?
Done for you, yeah, done or given for you that you felt like very, you found very touched by.
Let's say, like, let's make this two questions. One, the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for me was like basically I went to America for a whole year, and I ended up staying at at a very nice host family, like my family, that I ended up spending the whole year, going to high school and everything. And I've received a lot of love from them. So that is probably what the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for me. And also connected to that, the greatest gift I ever gotten is also connected to that experience, let's say, which was a little tiny aluminum cross of a friend of mine who was very Christian. I'm, coming from East Germany, I'm not very religious, but I met a girl who was very, very involved in Christian beliefs. So we had a lot of like dialogue about it and questioning religion, questioning Christianity. And she took the time to actually listen, try to answer my questions, try to also counter my thoughts on it. And I did the same with her. And she didn't like, try to defend or like try to oppose it, but she also listened. So we had a very constructive dialogue about, what does it mean to her, and being respectful for it, and also trying to get my point of view that I didn't grow up with it, and maybe like didn't. Yeah, I can see the benefits for other people, but it doesn't touch my heart in a way that people who grew up with it. So in the end, like after this whole year of friendship, activities and many discussions, she gave me this cross as a farewell present, and it had a very deep meaning to her as well because it was connected to family tragedy. So she passed it on. Like, this is a little cross that carried her through 2 years of pain, basically, and she passed it on to me.
Wow.
Which was like the most valuable present I ever got. And years later, it's actually like almost 10 years ago now, my host father died of cancer. So I had the opportunity we had a very good relationship also in the aftermath of my experience there. We stayed in touch regularly, kept visiting each other. And then he died like 10 years ago. So I was able to visit him, let's say 1.5 months, 2 months before he actually died, to say goodbye. And yeah, the most valuable thing I was able to give him was that cross. So that's my story of the cross.
I got goosebump now. Saying that. My goodness, such a powerful state. It's interesting when you are as I said, when you are open-minded, when you are approachable, even though you have different views about any topic. But it, as you said, she was listening to you. She was, um, she was literally just, trusting you. Like whatever you're saying, she was literally just, let you be yourself and be
Yeah.
open-minded can open so much doors. You never know which people can connect. You can have different views. Could be politics, could be religion, could be any other topic. But if you respect and you are open-minded and approachable, that's what happened. You know what I mean? You get connect with people.
It's what's connecting you on a human level. Like, when sticking with that example, like she never tried to convince me to
Yeah,
become a Christian or to start believing in God. She listened to where I was at, and we met there, and I did the same for her. So we were still able to grow a beautiful friendship, a very close friendship too, like a very loving, caring one,
yeah,
accepting the fact that we're different, but still being able to love each other.
amazing. And where's about in the US you're based, and how old were you at the time when you went there?
I was 16, turning 17 when I was in the States. Yeah. So it was quite imprinting for me, like becoming a man, becoming a person, becoming like finding my identity, let's say.
Wow. And where's about in the US?
In South Carolina, in the
So,
South. So, like that's why it's also like meaningful, giving that cross back to my host father, because they were also very Christian. And I, doing my year, went to church like with friends I had in school, for example, to learn. I wanted to expose myself to that, to listen to what was being said in the church, to get preachers, and also like to make something, whatever came into my mind about it, to get some education about it, basically.
yeah.
I was exposing myself to this whole, and I've seen um, maybe that's different in different countries, but like in America and in the South, like church is also like a societal foundation of support.
Yep.
So in a very warm way, it's different, like going to churches, like a Catholic church, and maybe that's even the same experience. I don't know, because I haven't experienced that here in Europe.
Yeah.
But here it's like a community thing that has a lot to do with like being supported whenever in need. And I think that's a beautiful thing, like to have, even if I'm not like regularly participating such things here in Germany. I have other, sources of support, let's say.
Absolutely. Next question, Frank. Let's do it. Yes, you can join me dancing all the time.
I'm hearing it, but it looks fun.
I know. Look, before the next question, tell me what do you like the most about your job? What's the biggest joy of it? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging?
Right now, what I like most is like I always enjoy when it comes to work having to do with different topics that are surprising. So like not like routine job that keeps repeating itself over years gets boring for me quickly. So I enjoy whenever there's like difficult tasks popping up, having to be tackled and to be solved. And that's one of the aspects that I really enjoy about my job. Working with language within like, when it comes to like connecting again, it's also a part of language, obviously. And the nuances of how you say what can matter in so many ways. So I love to work with, I don't know, pointing out the essence of stuff in the ways you want to say it to either achieve a goal or get across what you want to get across. So to work with language and at the same time being respectful also of diversity, for example, is a fun part for me. Challenging, yeah, nothing really comes to my mind. Like I guess like I said, routine would be a challenge, because like sometimes obviously you have to do that. Like if you're in a service distributor client setting, then you have to, as in any other job, have to deal with repetitions. Can be a challenge, but yeah, other than that, I'm enjoying my job. There's not like boredom because of like no new aspects popping up. That might be like a challenge. I like when there's constantly like a learning process. There's new topics. There's new things to get yourself involved in, to learn, to educate yourself on. That's what I like.
See. Okay. Next question for you is that a dream you always had?
Yeah, again, answer in two aspects. One was I wanted to become an actor like a long time ago when I like before I actually studied what then become my job. I wanted to be an actor, which I even applied for.
Wow.
And I prepared wrong, so I didn't get the chance to like to expose myself. And then I gave up that idea because I was too shy. So that was a long time dream, which didn't come true. I'm happy where I'm at right now. And the other thing is to build a tiny house, like to have to get like a lot somewhere, a yard, and create just a nice tiny house that is very individual and my space and creative.
Frank, when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the best part of being Frank? What's the best part of being you?
Well, when I would think about what my friends consider to be the best part of me, then I guess I'm a good listener. I'm also very good at taking apart complicated situations and mirroring them to people, you know, kind of like analyzing them for them to help bring them to a solution. That's, I think, one of the things that I could consider a quality when I look at what my friends appreciate in me.
Amazing, very good. Next question, let's do it. All right, next question is, what is the nicest thing a family member has ever done for you?
A family member. I would have to say to let me go. Because like I guess that's again coming back to my experience in America, which was the most imprinting things, one of the most imprinting things in my life. And for that to happen, it required my parents obviously to let me go, to, you know, send their 16-year-old out into the world to be on his own.
Wow.
And that came out well. So yeah, that's one of the things.
Ready for another one?
Second, yeah.
Let's do it. Next question. Right, so before the next question, tell me, I'm gonna ask one question, two parts. Yeah? Tell me, what's the best part of being a dad? What's the biggest joy of it? Yeah, and so far, what's the most beautiful lesson you've learned from your son?
I have to think about that for 2 seconds. The most beautiful thing is it to I don't know, like to be able to watch and observe of a little character becoming and to enhance that, and in like at the same time with a connection of trust and love, which is natural for a small child to have towards his parents because obviously there's a dependency. But when that connection can be created, established in a supportive, benevolent way, then the outcome of that is just beautiful to watch and to experience. It's kind of like it's a way of receiving love in an unconscious way. I don't know if it's put right, but like,
yeah,
he's not conscious of what he's giving me, and I try to give him what I have to support him and guide him and make him know the world and support him on the way.
And so far, so far, what's the most beautiful lesson you've learned from him?
I guess it's confirmation of the idea that I can like rely on my resources.
Hmm.
That I can stay calm. I don't know how to put it, but like um like a teaching of like everything's going to be well because like whatever I can come up with, even if it's like a spontaneous solving of a problem or solution, something's going to come up and it's going to be okay. So that's one of the you'll manage, I'll manage. That's one of the learnings that I have so far.
How old is your son?
He's 5.5 now.
Oh, sweet. Okay, next question for you. Okay, oops, I just said, yeah, okay. Next question is, if you won the lottery, yeah, what would be your first big splurge?
I would probably like organize myself a world travel, like I don't know, for half a year, just travel the world to different places. Obviously, that's not so realistic because or I would have, I would take my son probably. I would try to take my son, I'm co-parenting, so I would have to involve the mother as well. Maybe I would take all of us on a trip. I don't know. I mean, like if I had much money, then that wouldn't be the issue. So might as well, take them and also some close friends. And what I would probably also do is like buy like something like a loft to be creative and try all kinds of arts randomly. Like, I don't know, set up a studio for photography, for sound making, for drawing. I don't know, like try out every kind of art that crosses my path.
Amazing. Can you take me as well to that trip?
Yeah, everyone can apply. Once I win the lottery, that's the first.
Okay, I'll apply straight away. I'll get there. Said, please, just take me. I can do the magic box, different part of the world, so I can travel as well. I can enjoy and everything.
I mean, like I tried the European jackpot thing. I don't know, like lottery, and I think the highest one was 120 million. And I think with that win, there's space for a couple more people.
Amazing. Good. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Next question for you is, what do you like the most about your best friends?
My best friends are the ones like that. The majority of them have been there for a long time. So it's just like it's I don't know, the experience of having witnessed each other's lives and knowing each other very well because of that. So being able to give advice in a way that or to each other in a way that hardly people that know you shorter, all that though that works sometimes too, is like people you randomly meet and like reveal yourself to can also give you good advice from their experience. So it depends on what you need, but like what do I value about my friends is that they love me unconditionally. They've seen parts of me, decisions that I made, and always have loved me through it. So they're always still a good point to turn to. So, and that's what I love about them. Obviously, I'm the same for them. So it's a mutual thing.
And your best friends, they live in Berlin as well?
Some of them do, some of them don't, because like I've done like have an international path of work experiences, like experiences abroad. So I have some very close friends abroad as well that I can share on a soul level and be very connected to, which is, I mean, I'm fortunate to have that.
Absolutely.
Great.
Right. I have 3 questions left for you. Okay, Frank, let's do it. Show me the German modes.
When you're in Berlin.
Yes. I've been in Berlin actually once, a long time ago. I need to come back again.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. You should.
Absolutely. You gonna take me for a dance?
Yes.
Amazing. Before the next question, talking about Berlin, yeah, and in the beginning we were talking how much people love the city, the advantage of Berlin, living Berlin, the openness. Tell me something. But the flip side, in your opinion, what's the most challenging part of living in Berlin?
Cost increase. And Berlin has like, was a lot, is now like we've talked about, is a very interesting city. So many people flock there. And even like throughout the last 15 years, people, I mean, like Berlin established itself as a brand of like being cheap and creative. So that for a long time was also true. You could come here, have a cheap living, and it drew a lot of creatives coming into the city. It also drew the people being attracted by that. So the people with money, I mean, like this is the whole gentrification problem that happens everywhere. And that the same thing happened to Berlin as well. With good and bad aspects, I'm not like, totally opposing the development or something. Like it's new influences coming into the city are always good. But it obviously left, Berlin had a lot of catching up to do compared to other European cities. It wasn't, it started on a very low level, and we're feeling the increase and the catching up process. And that to many people who cannot afford to live in their city anymore, that is a problem. So that's unfortunate, but it's a natural development path of requested bigger cities with a lot of people being fans of.
It's interesting you saying that, because actually, even before I started doing the show, I remember talking to people who live in Berlin, and they're saying how cheap it is to live there. How amazing it is to have the cost of life, that the low cost of life. And it's interesting as well, because I had an interview with someone from Lisbon in Portugal, and they said the same thing as well. They said, William, such a great city, but because people, they are buying properties there, like from other countries, that they can afford more, what I mean, the cost of life, or they get more more money, and the city becomes very expensive, for the people who live there. And as you said, people, they cannot afford to live there anymore, which is a shame in a way, because somehow it's lose a little bit of the the essence of the city somehow.
Yeah, I mean, like there's, like I said, there's new people coming in, and it's adding to the creativeness and diversity of the place.
Yeah.
But it's actually like there's a cost to it, which is like the natural, the original vibe that was there is sometimes driven out, and that's
Yeah.
since there's no support programs, that's just the cost of that.
Absolutely. Next question for you is, what do you like to cook the most?
Pasta, Thai, and actually soups, I have to say. Like this is like a reference to my family. I like to do a good chicken soup. I don't know, like, which takes some like effort, work you have to put in if it's supposed to be good. But I love doing that sometimes because it's comforting, it's soul food, comforting, and it's also a reminder of my family, who like had a lot of simple food, and soups on the weekends, on a Saturdays, was the regular thing to eat. So that's like also like a family comfort thing, I guess.
What's the most traditional food in Germany, or in Berlin, or in the area around the city?
Simple dish, currywurst, which is like a sausage you can like buy like everywhere on the street, which is like just with ketchup and curry on top of it. That's like a very Berlin snack. You get that everywhere basically. And there's places that are very traditional that have been selling this like for decades, that people flock to because they're in the tourist guides. So sometimes you find that as well. But it's a very simple snack that you can find everywhere.
There is a joke with the gay community. The guys go like, "Oh, I love the German sausage."
Might have heard about that.
First time. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay. Next question for you is what was your best friend's name growing up, and why did you consider this person as your best friend at the time?
The person that comes to my mind is a girl named Sandra. If you ever see this, hello. We have a friendship that goes back a long time. We actually went to nursery school as babies together. So like our parents know each other since we were one. And we traced that back when we became friends. Like, I guess we started becoming closer friends when we were like 14, 15 or something. And like tracing that back and realizing we actually have been connected that long. And now, of course, nowadays we celebrate that. So yeah, we went to kindergarten together. We went to school in different classes though. So like we kind of like witnessed each other's path from afar before we then became closer friends before and after I came back from America. And this was like basically one of the major inputs or like the starting points for our deeper friendship is coming back and experiencing the friendship as just the same, just as welcoming, just as loving after a year has passed of not seeing each other. And this was like a time when there was no social media yet. There was only letters and emails, but this was a different time of like being able to keep in touch. And coming back, I also basically my whole circle of friends changed, but this was one of the rare ones that stayed. The friends that I call now my close friends, I built mostly afterwards, but she was one that goes back later. And nowadays, when we meet, she has now a family she's married, having 2 sons. I'm the godfather of her first son, and she's the godmother of my son. So we're still very
Sandra. Yeah. Really? Oh my God, that's amazing. I was about to ask if you still keep in touch. So of course you do. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, wow. And she lives in Berlin?
She lives in Berlin as well. We see each other regularly. I try to do like, I'm being the godfather for her first son. We try to do like special activities also because we want to pass on that kind of connection to the next generation between us as well. And she's trying to do the same with my son. So like, it's going to be continued.
Sandra, you are very special for Frank, I can see. Wow, the bond always being there, the connection always being there. Good for you.
Yes.
Amazing. Ready for the last question?
Mm-hmm.
Last question, let's do. How do I say last question in German?
Die letzte Frage.
Die letzte Frage.
Yes.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Right, before the last question, when I was checking your profile, you exposed there that, you in love with arts, photography. So tell me how arts and photography came into your life. Design as well?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know whether, becoming a gay person was part of that, but like to feel, I don't know, creative and be wanting to be inspired by the world, by the surroundings around you. Photography came into my life on that path, like in school when there was a photographer who was also like a more professional one portraying artists. Built up a laboratory in our school, so like doing workshops and being able to do photography on analog, just what's the word, like in an analog way. So the old school way, like of developing film and like enlarging pictures by yourself. I eventually got the equipment to set up in my own bathroom. So like I dove into photography for quite a while before then wanting to become an actor, as I referred to earlier. But yeah, I guess the visual part before like going into the profession of like communications, my intention was to be more graphic, like to be more visually creative. Like I wanted to become a web designer in between. So like this whole art of like, I don't know, visual perception always fascinated me, combined with when I took photographs, photography, I also love to portray people close to me because human connection, interaction, and the visual aspects of that, whatever someone speaks through you, just through the person's eyes without speaking, that's what's fascinating me as well.
Amazing. Last question for you is, if someone come up to you and offer to tell your future, would you accept it or not, and why?
I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to know. I want to go through it. I want to walk through it step by step. Amazing. And what if the future doesn't look so good? I wouldn't want to know. I want to experience where I'm at to the fullest.
Amazing. Very good. Okay, it's not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? One word for money.
Travel.
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Connection.
Family.
Love.
Life.
Fulfilled.
One word for sex.
Raunchy.
Ooh. What raunchy means?
That remains for the ones
Who understands?
who participate.
One word for politics.
Complicated.
Religion.
To be respected.
Fear.
Should not be an obstacle.
Friendship.
Support system.
Desire.
Path to authenticity.
Okay. Regrets.
Happen.
Huh?
Happen. Regrets happen.
Absolutely. Success.
Success. Less important than health.
Wish.
Wish. Calmness.
Happiness.
Is going to come.
I like that. One word for Berlin.
Love. Passion. 2 words.
And more, and more, and more. One word for, sorry?
Fun is the 3rd word.
Cool. One word for Germany.
Still nice if you give it a chance.
Okay. And the last one now, photography, one word.
Soul.
Amazing. Okay, let's pretend now I'm going to fly all the way to Berlin and I'm going to meet Sandra for a coffee. And I'm going to ask, Sandra, tell me the most beautiful thing about Frank and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What she would say?
Well, for the most beautiful thing, you'd have to ask her yourself. The thing that I have to work on is boundaries sometimes with people.
Okay. You have no idea what you're going to say, something beautiful about you, or you're just being modest and shy?
No, I think she would probably say that she would appreciate and point out my capability to love.
There we go. There we go. Let's play now Frank and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. Good dancer you are, I can see. Before you ask him the question, tell me what's your favorite German word?
Vergnügen.
Which means?
It's a term that was used in American advertisement, which means the pleasure of driving. I don't know which of the brand used it, like for a TV spot. And one of the soulmate friends that I made in America, a Japanese American woman, she called me that. She called me Farfi, which is the abbreviation of Fahrvergnügen, which is like a fun word in German to address me as a good friend of hers.
Oh, sweet. Okay, Frank, you can ask me a question now.
If you imagine yourself being hopefully mid-80s-year-old guy, what would be the 3 points of advice you would give yourself right now?
Oh my God, I love the question. I love the question. Right, so, okay, 3 advice, yeah? Okay. All right, I'm there, like literally sit down there, as you said, like a place where you are right now, sitting there by the nature, just enjoy my, my retirement. I don't think I will ever retire anyway, but I'll be there having like a relaxing day, a relaxing moment, like lost in my thoughts. I think the first advice I'll give to myself nowadays, first one would be, William, it's not up to you. It's okay for you to, keep going, move, be proactive the way you are. But at the same time as well, you need to understand that it's not just up to you. Everything needs to go together. For example, the atmosphere, the words, people, everything connect together for you to get to place where you meant to be. So keep going the way you are, but slow down when you need, give yourself some free time as well, reflect, some reflection as well. Don't go too fast. And remember that everything needs to work together to get things done, not just you. That's the first advice. The second one is stop overthinking. Yeah, it takes a lot of your energy. You're not gonna get anywhere. I know it's when you start analyze too much about things. You get tired. It drains you. Your energy goes down. So stop thinking. Just relax. Sometimes don't. It's okay to reflect on things, but don't keep overthinking because you're not gonna find the answer. You're just gonna keep going. The third one, let's see, the third one. Let's see. My God, I need to get it right. And the third advice I'll give to myself. Wow. There are different ones that I want to say. Oh my God, you put me in the spot, Frank. I love being in the spot. I love keep me when I think about things. Okay. All right. Okay. The third one would be, sometimes, regarding friendship, friends, people around you that you love a lot, that sometimes you can have some, let's say, crush sometimes, crush. Sometimes you crush with friends, and it's healthy. It's healthy to happen those situations, and that's how you are literally, learning about yourself, get more close to your friends as well. So again, it's a bit connected with overthinking, but it's the same situation. Is just relax about friendship, about relationship as well. Things is gonna cross your path in the right time. So just again relax and just live the moment, live the way. I always believe that as well. I'm Scorpio, my astrology, and I have this strong thing about me. It's about love yourself, enjoy yourself first, your own company, and other things will come in the right time. So I'll give those three advice for myself back in the day when I was there doing this interview with someone from Germany called Frank, and he asked me this tough question. He put me in the spot. That would be my answer to him.
I love the trust the universe kind of approach.
Absolutely. That's how we should trust everything. Everything goes the right time. Keep going, never stop, because that's what things happen. But it's not just up to you. You know what I mean? It can be many things involved at the same time as well. As they say, trust the process, trust the universe, trust things around you. That's how things happen. If it's meant to be to you, it's meant to be for you, it will be. It will find a way to get to you. You know what I mean? I got goosebumps now. Anything, whatever meant to be for us, it will come to us somehow. It's gonna find a way to get to us. So just keep going, relax, and things gonna come the right time.
I agree.
It's good.
Difficult, but it needs to be trusted.
Totally, absolutely. Frank, did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, I loved it. It was fun.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks so much for being so open and bring this energy from Berlin to the show. Thanks so much, okay? Right. But, so please, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by in German. I'm joking. Please.
There's always light. If only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it.
Amazing. There we go. It's
supposedly from Amanda Gorman, whatever. Yeah.
Nice. I think Dank, they'll say thank you in German. Dank.
Dankeschön. Vielen Dank.
Dankeschön. Thank you so much, Frank. It was a pleasure. Regards to Sandra, regards to your son, and we keep in touch. It was a pleasure, okay? Thank you.
Very much also.
And see you in Berlin sometime for a dance, right?
Yeah, hit me up.
I will. Take care, okay? Keep in touch. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.